Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks so much for joining me again today. We have a build series that we're going to try to launch here. It's about my R34 sedan that we're going to try to wide body. So this is my R34 sedan that you guys may or may not have seen. Finally got the wide body kit in from Russia. Just been doing a bunch of maintenance on the car, getting the suspension bits all set up. So as you can see, we got the all the aftermarket adjustable suspension on there. Thank you so much to my buddy Grant at G-Spec Suspension. Guys, go check him out. Awesome stuff. There's the lower control arm just to give you a quick glance. But yeah, just been doing a lot of maintenance on it. Ended up pulling a lot of the engine apart and taking care of just oil leaks, exhaust leaks, what have you. So this is its current state right now. Got the exhaust manifold back on. I've done a lot of work off camera, and as you can see, got the nice silicone couplers. We got the nice T-bolt clamps. So that should take care of all of our coolant leaking issues. I got the nice MLS gaskets for the exhaust manifold, so that should take care of the exhaust leaks there. The only thing really to do to the engine is to take off the intake manifold and re-seal everything. It had a little bit of an oil leak right at the back there. But right now, you guys aren't here to see that. What you are here to see is the wide body. So I did a bit of work off camera. As you can see, I actually have the quarter panel mounted to the car. I ended up just bolting it all in place, and then you can see in the door jamb too, bolted in place in a couple spots here. For at the moment, I only have the door panel mocked up, as you can see, held by duct tape, and then I have the side skirt in place just for trying to match everything up and get the idea of where everything should go. The gas lid is mounted on it also. So I'll show you on the other side here. So this is the other side, so that way you guys can get a little bit of perspective on how wide this car is actually going to be. Because of the gas door on the other side, it makes it look a little bit goofy, and you can't really get the feel for it. You can see the big arches right here. So today, what we're planning on doing is concentrating specifically on the door panel here. I'm not a professional by any means, nor am I ever going to state that I am. So take with what I do and what I say with a grain of salt, and if it's wrong, oh well, we're here to learn. I've never done this before. It's a complete learning experience for me. Yeah, so I'm sure I'm gonna get roasted in the comment section, but here we go. So like I said, I did the rear quarter off camera. The challenge for me was just to make sure that everything was lining up properly and taking care of some uneven body lines. What the plan is I'm actually not just leaving it like this, guys. I'm going to be urethane gluing it onto the car, and then I'm going to be running these self-tappers right back on through just to hold everything in place while the glue dries. And then I'll be taking them out once everything dries, and then I'll be using what's called kitty hair Bondo to mold the fiberglass panel into the actual body of the car. And then that way it's going to be more of a seamless, and then we'll also fill in all these holes that we've done too. Like I said, those are just to hold it on in place until the glue dries, and then I'm taking them out. Same in here too, in the door jamb. So we're gonna actually be taking all these out and then molding it right on into the dog leg and then making it look pretty seamless. So what I was doing yesterday off camera, it needs to be sanded a little bit in this area right here. It's not sitting as nicely as I want it to be, especially when you grab it and you squish it together. This seems to be a little bit of a high point, especially when you close the door. and you're looking at the body lines right there especially, yeah, that's definitely the high point right there. So that's what I've been trying to do also with the gas cap. Just trying to line it all up, get it all looking more even with the body lines that have be given right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tack screw in a couple spots here, maybe on the side and along the bottom. Right here we can't do anything about that just because how thick the arch is right here. We can't, well maybe up here, but right there especially, and then down to the bottom, we can't really do much about that. Let's get started. We're sanding bits of the door down, specifically right here. Just that way it sits a little bit tighter and get a little bit cleaner line. But also what we're having facing right now is the door handle opening. So over here is nice, it's got a little bit of good spacing right over here. But when it gets to about right here on, it starts getting too tight. So that's what I've been trying to figure out right now, is just sanding right in this corner here up to about right here and just getting it to a little bit better.
But when you're working with fiberglass, make sure you're always wearing your mask, because you do not want to be breathing in fiberglass. It will mess your lungs up and you will be very, very sick. So make sure you wear your proper protection.
Okay, so I'll show you what I've been doing so far. As you saw a little bit in the time lapse there. So on the door handle opening, I need to trim it a little bit more in these corners here. And then also in this corner a little bit more here too, to fit that door handle opening there. Also what I've been doing is I've been trying to make it hit a little less right here on the dog leg panel there, right on the edge of the door. I tried sanding down a little bit more here, tried sanding a little bit right here just to prevent it from hitting on that. So now the door, still a little bit tight in that area, but it seems like that's gonna work out just fine. Just been making sure that the lines with the side skirt are good, same with consistency on the dog leg. I think it's time to get this thing bolted on at least. Alright, so we got a couple of the screws in place now. Show you what I've done a little bit here. So I ended up wiping the panel in wax and grease remover just for the release agent that's still on the mold a little bit. It's still a little bit greasy. And then I lined it all up, duct taped it all, stretched it so that way it will keep its line. Double checked the line gap, looked okay. And then went ahead and first put it in the center, because that way if it is still off side to side, I still have a little bit of wiggle room trying to turn it here and there. Just making sure the lines are all good. Once I did that, made sure everything was good, went ahead, did the second and the third one there. So now I've just got to figure out where to put more. But yeah, here we go. So the salt tappers that we're using are these guys right here. I don't want to use anything much bigger than that, especially because the door panel is so thin already. Don't want to run one completely through the other side, so a small one is the best way to go. So I'm going nice and slow when I'm drilling these in. I don't need my bit to skip off and go right into the panel. These are fiberglass after all. They will damage very easily. I don't feel like repairing and sanding unnecessary damage that I could have prevented. So yeah, just a little bit slower on the trigger speed, making sure that they go in nice and nothing gets further damaged than it needs to be. Again, for everybody that's concerned saying I'm an idiot and I've been destroying the car, drilling holes, the car is in okay shape. It's not mint condition, and I'm going to be taking care of all the holes that I drill anyways. I'm going to be filling it all in with kitty hair Bondo, which is fiberglass reinforced Bondo, and then also I'm going to be urethaning all the holes just to make sure everything is watertight again and nothing will rust. And then like I said guys, nice and slow on the trigger. And then once you feel it pop through the metal, that's when you slow down, and because it's going to start sinking in. Now because also the flex on the panel, I need to make sure that I get it in key spots where it's going to have the most bow out, because when I have the urethane dry, I need to make sure that it squishes all the way down and it's going to dry decent. Alright, so about one more for this edge, and that should be enough pressure to hold everything in place.
So the reason why I didn't film me bolting on the quarter panel is because I'm not a professional by any means, nor have I ever claimed that I am. I just wanted to get comfortable with it myself off camera. It's something new for me. I've never done this before. Sure, I can ham hock it and just cut all the corners that I want and just throw it on. I don't want to do that though. I want to actually make the car look better. You know, it's gonna be obviously looking rough stages right now because it's mixed matched and it's all raw. But once I get it all prepped and painted, I hope my vision's gonna come together. So far it has, especially with just mocking everything up, taping it all on, just kind of getting an idea for it. But yeah, I'm really excited.
So I also got the wheels, guys. I will pull this all out and start showing you them. Alright, so let's take a look at the wheels here. So these are XXR's 527Ds from my understanding. This one is the rear rim. It is 18 by 10.5. Now look at that. Ooh. I love how big the dish is too. Let's test fit it on the car and show you guys. Look at that. This is gonna look so good once I get everything all tied in. It's gonna come together really nice, guys. So the tires that I'm planning on running on the rear are two 55/40 18s. Does anybody have an idea for a tripod for like a quick release system from detaching the camera off and on? I don't know, it's getting a pain in the butt having to constantly screw it on and off every 5 minutes. Anyhow, so what I ended up doing, guys, was I just ran a longer self-tapper right along the bottom here, and it definitely did sink in a little bit. No poke through, thankfully, but yeah, body lines are lining up pretty nice. Made sure that this is all pretty even, and to the touch, running your hand over it, it feels pretty darn even, which is good.
That lining up is a win in my books because that means that at least I'm taking the time, extra care, and you know, making sure everything looks good. Like I showed you before, I was sounding down a couple spots that it was too high, so it was not fitting correctly, and that definitely seemed to help, so that's awesome.
So now I want to try to get the rear bumper on the car just to make sure that everything is good in the wheel arch area. I did have to bash a little bit because it was getting too tight right on that part right there. So let me get all the camera gear set up and get the lights all set up, and we'll try to test fit it. Got to make sure that everything gets clicked into the brackets on the back side. I'm not thinking that it's gonna fit really nicely with all those bolts in the way, but we'll see. Actually, we're clearing it, so that worked out definitely in our favor. Yeah, so we're still a little bit tight in this area, in the wheel arch area right here. But yeah, shoot, I don't know. It seems to fit not too well. Like, it's just so tight. On the other side, it fits a lot better. So I don't know what the heck is going on with that. See, this side goes in no worries.
Just got to play with it a bunch more and check back in shortly.
So what I ended up concluding is that because this car was crashed, perhaps that right on in here, it's sticking out too far, which is not allowing the bumper to sit in as tight as it should be. Because the other side, there is no damage. So this side, being that there is the damage, that's what I'm guessing, is just the repair here is it's sticking too far out. So it needs to be hammered in. This is supposed to be here, guys, so don't worry about that. It's just more of this area here and this piece. That's where the stock bumper, the bolts actually run inwards, and then it's 3 nuts on the inside that hold the bumper cover in place here. But yeah, hashtag drift car. Not me, previous owner. Yeah, let's try to figure this out here.
So what I'm going to be doing is just trying to hammer some of this back. Yeah, maybe it's just sticking out too far. We can always push it back. Like I said, this car is nowhere near perfect to begin with, so I'm not too concerned. So what we seem to be catching on is right on in here. You can see I can move the bumper cover up and down, but because this part right here is sticking too far out, it's preventing the bumper from actually sitting. So, and a little bit right here, too. So let's go ahead and take the rear bumper cover back off again, and hammer those key spots that we saw and test fit it again. That's all we can keep on doing. Here's the time lapse. Much happier with the fitment, guys. Holy cow, that didn't take a lot of effort, but you know.
But check out this GTR rear bumper. So now you can finally see a little bit here. Now that we have the bumper on, quarter panel, and also the door skin there on. Once the car's painted, it's gonna tie in so much nicer, but for right now, just bear with me. This is a build series after all.
My name is Jeff.
That's my ringtone, if anybody's wondering. Yes, it is. My name is Jeff. Yeah, but a little bit of fitment problems here, but we haven't even touched the side. We haven't even mounted it. It's still duct taped in place.
Well, if you guys have been keeping up to date on my Instagram, you'll see that I did a 3-inch cut dump valve for the exhaust system in the middle of the car. That way, I don't attract unnecessary attention to myself as far as being too loud and obnoxious. The car's gonna get a lot of attention itself because of the design of the car, and I just didn't want to attract unnecessary attention because the car is too loud and obnoxious. So I have the factory cat back system on the car, but right in the middle I ran a 3-inch cut dump valve, so that way, you know, car shows or pulling up to a car meet, I can open it.
So as you guys can tell, I got a little bit excited. I threw the wheel back on, I threw the rear bumper on, I even put the side skirt and the front fender on. Unfortunately, the front bumper, it won't fit at all. The ground clearance is non-existent. But yeah, you can get an idea for how nice this kit is, how well it ties in with the side skirt all the way into the dog leg here for the rear door. And just the lines is just so impressive. I'm gonna have to get the black mesh like the front bumper cover came with and put it in the vents there. On the turbo back, we have a full 3-inch stainless steel exhaust system. And then leading right up to the cat, I have the 3-inch dump valve. And then for the cat back system, like I mentioned before, is the stock exhaust. Yeah, so if I want to hoon around and be obnoxious, I'll open that up. If I don't want to draw any attention to myself as far as noise violations or anything, I'll keep it closed and just have the stock exhaust. Alright, so thank you so much guys for watching this first episode of this build series. Like I said before, I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just trying to make a cool car look even cooler. It's definitely a different build. Not many people would take a small block Chevy and put it in a Skyline 4-door sedan and also do a GTR wide body. I have though been noticing there are quite a few more people doing the 4-door GTR conversion, which is pretty sweet. But mine's a little bit more unique with a small block Chevy in it. So, but yes, definitely. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. So this is the first episode for this build series. What I'm planning on doing next for the next episode is going to the other side and mounting the quarter panel, showing you guys that process and what it took for me to do this side off camera. Like I said, I wanted to get a little bit more comfortable with it first. I would love to complete the entire driver's side of the car. I'm doing the rear section first, so I'm going to continue to do the rear section. All that's left really on the rear section is to ham out the passenger side, get that quarter panel on, do the door panel like we did today. To tie up the rear section will be to finalize the rear bumper, actually drill the holes and get it all in the brackets correctly. Then what's going to be next after that is going to be the front fenders. Now with the front fenders, I have to play with the door gap, hood gap, and then also make sure that the side skirts fit in perfectly. I feel that the side skirts is going to be the last part that we're actually going to fix to the car, running those self tappers through. If you guys want to start seeing videos about the mechanical portion of the car also, let me know. I would love to take you along for the journey even on that. Like I said before, what I have to do to the engine to get it going is just take off the intake manifold and re-gasket everything because it is leaking oil a little bit from the back. But for right now, I'm just concentrating on getting the wide body taken care of. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next one.